So what are the Lagrange points and why is AdityaL1 added to one? So Lagrange points offer ideal parking spots for satellites and are home to several astronomical observatories named for French mathematician Joseph Louis Lagrange, so, whose research elucidated the existence of this point. They are also being explored as sites of future space colonies. Some of the most amazing phenomena in nature, from electromagnetic radiation and infrared vision to subatomic particles and cosmic rays, are invisible, and we get to know them only through their various applications. This is true for Lagrange points as well, points in space between celestial bodies where a spacecraft stays more or less stationary as if held in place by some cosmic magics. The magic, of course, owes itself to the unseen force of gravity exerted by these bodies. Lagrange points are found along the plane of two objects in orbit around their common center of gravity, where these gravitational forces cancel each other so that a third body of negligible mass will remain at rest between them. For example, the combination of gravitational force between the Sun and the Earth equal to centrifugal force required by a satellite or an asteroid to orbit the Sun-Earth center to gravity. At this Lagrange point, a satellite will keep its position constant relative to both the Sun and the Earth. What is math instead of law? Planetary scientists are fascinated by the Lagrange points because they offer a best parking spots in space for satellites that is seen from the Earth. Lagrange points appeal to stay motionless, and this makes them ideal for controllers on the ground to communicate with spacecraft stationed there. No wonder these locations are home to several astronomical observatories that utilize their vantage positions to have ringside views on the Earth and the backyard of the solar system, which would not be possible near to the planet. Lagrange points exist throughout the solar system through this gravitational interaction between the Sun and its retina of planets and their moons. The points were named after the Italian-French mathematician Joseph Louis Lagrange, who was born January 25, 1736 in Turin, in Italy. His parents wanted him to study law and enrolled him in the University of Turin, but as it happened, a 17-year-old Lagrange chanced upon an algebra paper by the English astronomer Edmund Halley and was so intrigued that they decided to become a mathematician instead. He went on to excel in the all field of analytical number theory and celestial mechanics and become one of the youngest and brightest mathematical professors of all the time. He subsequently moved to Berlin, where his work on astronomy, medicine, and calculus resulted in several groundbreaking papers, including one of the moon's orbiter dynamics and another perpetuation of orbits of comets. Not talking about a three-body problem, but Lagrange's most important contribution were related to the so-called three-body problem, which reflected the motion of three bodies which mass relative to each other in space, such as the Sun, the Earth, and the Moon. The problem question itself, as if you know the starting position of the Sun, the Earth, and the Moon, can you predict their exact location at a later date, and they move under the influence of each other's gravity? Lagrange found that a problem could be solved if he assumed the third body was much smaller than the other two larger masses. It eventually led him to describe the famous five Lagrange points L1, L2, L3, L4, and L5. In any three-body system, the three of these Lagrange points L1, L2, L3 are unstable positions that lie among the imaginary straight line connecting the two larger bodies, and the other two L4, L5 are stable locations that form the apex of two imaginary equilateral triangles with the two large celestial bodies at the vertices of each triangle. Now, point of accumulation. The point of accumulation, objects stay undisturbed at L4 and L5 because of a restoring force, a force acting against any displacement that prevent them from being nudged away from a stable point. Because of the stability, however, L4 and L5 terms also tend to accumulate a lot of interstellar dust and asteroid called trojans and zip around with the point. Scientists have detected nearly 10,000 trojans at L4 and L5 points of the Sun-Jupiter system, along where gravitational and centrifugal forces prompt the space rock to follow the giant's planetary revolution around the Sun. Astronomers have also found four trojans at Lagrange points around Mars and eight trojans at the L4 and L5 points around Neptune. One of the Saturn larger moon, Tethys, Tethys even has two moonlets at the Lagrange points. So Lagrange points are found along the planes of two objects in orbit around their common center of the gravity, where the gravitational force cancel each other, so that the third body of negligible mass will remain at rest between them. On the other hand, object positioned at one of the three unstable Lagrange point L1 and 2 and 3 can be easily deprived by even weak forces, and they will then drift off into space. This is to say, spacecraft at say L3 need only an invisible disruption to slip and fall from its orbit towards the sun and the Earth, unless it frequently burns fuel via its thrusters at the various moments of displacement towards the orbital movement frequently. Importance for space exploration sites